Good morning, fig friends. Welcome back to Michigan here on this fine Saturday morning. May 8th? Is it the 8th?
Yep.
Oh, good. We're making soil. We're getting ready to put together our batch for our upplanting. And I wasn't going to do a video, but then I had a couple people ask me, so I figured, well, let's do it. So what I did first is I got some mulch last year when it was on sale for like a couple bucks a bag. I like this fine. This is my favorite brand. I get it at Home Depot. Timberline pine bark mulch. I try to get the fine stuff. The finer the better. I rototilled it already. So I've got the pine bark mulch in there first. Then what I did is I went down to the Mulch King down in Temperance, and he's got compost. I got a yard of compost. I think it was a yard, yeah. And so I got about 25 bags of mulch, 1 yard of compost, and then a big pile of media from all of the figs from last year, and any soil that I threw out over last year. I started to make a pile last fall. So basically I got a part of bark, a part of compost, and a part of media from last year. And so I add the bark on the ground and then the compost, rototill it up, and now we're adding another layer of compost on top. And I'm going to rototill it again, then add the media from last year, rototill that all up, flip it. I'm going to add some oyster shell for calcium and raise the pH a little bit. That bark can be a little acidic, so I'll test the pH before I use it, but usually if you're in the 6 range, you're good. So let's get back to it. I'll take a video of how I mix it, and so you guys can kind of see how we mix soil every spring. So yep, it's around 50 degrees here this Saturday in Michigan. It's going to get about 34 tonight and 34 again on Monday. I got all the young figs out, ready to get up potted. I'm not shuffling them. I brought them out a week ago. It got down to 32. I got up about, I would say, I got up every 20-30 minutes from 4 o'clock until 7:30 and sprayed the figs down, and everything seemed to be good. So this tonight and Monday night, it's going to get down to 34. So I'm not too worried about it. The figs are leafed out a little bit more, but I'm not too concerned about it. So yeah, let's get back to it, and we'll check in a few minutes. All right, I'm going to add some more oyster shell. All right, probably about all. That's all I'll put in there. All right, we got our rototiller, our Mary tiller. Pretty simple rototiller, nothing too special. I've had it for a long time though. My dad bought this for me when I was young for 75 bucks, and I put a new motor on it, and it's a great tiller. All right, I promise she's not doing all the work. I promise. But I really do need the exercise. After COVID, I think I read or heard somewhere yesterday that the average American has gained between 10 and 15 pounds in the last 16 months. I believe it. I have. But anyway, at this point, probably could add some Osmocote. That wouldn't hurt. Certainly wouldn't hurt. I probably got about 5 yards of total end product here. So whatever the rate for 5 yards would be a good starting point. And then incorporating that into the mix would ensure that you had Osmocote prills throughout the media and available to the root system all throughout the growing season. So I don't have any. I probably do. I did use some Osmocote last year, but I'll probably just use liquid feed this year. It all depends on what I feel like doing. I actually got pretty good results from Osmocote last year, but I've always done liquid feed prior. So yeah, let's get back to it. All right, before we do another pass, you can see there's some chunks in here from last year. That's okay. The rototiller will chop those up. You might be wondering, does the rototiller hurt the driveway? I can kind of feel it if I'm getting too close to the ground, and I just go faster. So I'm not scraping up the concrete and causing a bunch of scars on the concrete. I was a little bit worried about that at first, but it works pretty good. So you can kind of feel when it's skipping across the concrete, and if you're doing that, you're too low, and just go faster. So yeah, let's do another pass. All right, the last step here is we added some rooting mix that I had left over. Just 4 totes of that, so 4 of these guys we threw in there. So we'll give this another spin with the rototiller, and then what I'll probably do is flip this side onto that, rototill it again, and maybe flip it over and rototill it again, and then I'll make it into one tall pile and call it a day. And this is going to be used, like I say, this is pretty much used to up pot all my 12-inch figs into 20-inch pots. So usually what I'll do is my cuttings go into one of these 12-inch pots, and that's about the amount of root growth, or I should say top growth, that they get in one season. And then actually I should probably cut these probably about chest high so that they can grow out like a tree form. So some of those I didn't do that with. I'm probably going to do that. I've also prepared for some air layers. Nursery pots, I put some holes in the nursery pots and slid those in there while the leaves hadn't unfolded yet, so that I wouldn't have to fight that later. So that's kind of where we're at here. Let's give this a final spin here with the rototiller, and we'll check in a few minutes.
Soil. Get in there.
Alright, so yeah, there's a few worms in there. There's some
Beautiful.
good looking soil though.
Yeah, it is.
And so what we'll do now is we'll flip this over top of this and flip this that way. Because even though I rototill it, there's still a lot of bark probably close to the sidewalk, so we want to get all that in. Oh yeah, see, we got bark at the bottom.
Yep.
We gotta spread that out, so that's why we flip it. We flip it once, or once on its end and then again on its other end. That gets any bark at the bottom fully incorporated.
Too much.
It's not too bad. It's looking like black gold. Alright, almost there. Almost got the back half put on top of the front half. Man, I'm getting tired. I'm going to be spent. I'm not going to get anything else done today.
It's a lot of work.
Alright, so we got the left side toppled over on the right side, the front side toppled over on the back side, and now we're just going to flatten off the top and go around it. And so this is a pretty big stack of soil or media that we're going to be using for all the figs. Like I say, this is how we do it pretty much every year, and this will give us enough to up pot all the new varieties into 12-inch, all the 12-inch into 20-inch, the 20-inch into the 26-inch. So the varieties that I plan to put in the big pots are my DTE. That's a good fig. I want to get that in a big pot. Del San Juame Gran. Verdino del Nord. Medieval Ivor. Probably put that one in a special pot. Oh, I got this Borgesat Negro Ramada. I got to get that in a bigger pot. What's this variety here? Oh, Calderona. I love that fig. Calderona is going to get a bigger pot. So I've got 5 varieties picked out for bigger pots, 6 varieties. And those will go in the extra special pots, the biggest pots that I got. And probably in the fall, I'll give away another 20 varieties and just kind of keep cycling through things. sometimes what I'll do too is I'll take a big variety and I'll just save all the cuttings. I'll give away the stump and I'll start over again. I only have so much space. If I had unlimited space, I would, well, shoot, I don't know. I would probably get a big barn and put them all in there. But eventually the problem is you got to start root pruning on them, or they lose productivity, or they split a little bit more when they're not root bound. So it's really, you gotta cycle through things. I think, for me anyway, that's how I do it. So anyway, this is soil making 101 here in Temperance, Michigan. And I wanted to do a video on how I made my soil. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you picked up a couple things. Use pine bark, not hardwood mulch. And thanks for watching.
Dan's much better at squaring this off than I am.
Yeah, right. Well, but you're doing it, not me. You're doing a good job. So anyway, take care. And I hope you guys have a great fig growing season. I might do another video later of my up potting and setting up the irrigation. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and hope to see you guys soon. Thanks. Okay, before I use this media on everything that I up pot this year, I thought a good practice would be to check my pH to make sure that the pH is not like super low. We all know that figs can take a higher pH. Anywhere above 6 is probably good. 6.5 is fine. I've heard of people putting lime on the top of their soil. That certainly would drive the pH up way over 7, and I think that would also be fine. But what we don't want is we don't want the pH to be below 6, because being an alkaline loving plant, you don't want an acidic soil condition. So we're going to shoot for above 6, and if it's not above 6, I'll have to remix it and add lime. I did add some oyster shell. That should raise the pH a little bit, but I'm not sure how much. So I got a half a cup of the media that I made. I'll put it in a cup. I'm going to add a half a cup of water. I don't have deionized water. I don't know really how much of that matters. I'm going to take that, and we're going to mix it up real good. Mix it up real good. This is room temperature water. So I've got one of these doctor meters. Alright, now what are we shooting for here? What do we got? I've calibrated the meter already. Looks like we're 6.9, so we're in good shape. We definitely don't have anything acidic. Six 8, 6.9. If it was acidic, it would have jumped way down there. I do have another meter. This one I have not calibrated. This is a cheaper meter, but it should still give me a good reading. Six 8. If it was acidic, it would be going way down. So 6.8, 6.9. We're definitely not below 6, so I'm happy with that. It's a little bit high, but it's not like I'm going to use this on petunias or anything like that likes a lower pH. So for my figs, 6.8 will work. All right, so again, use a couple pH meters. Wash those off real good and store them away. Okay, thank you.